So this review is going to be the new EP from Lorna and I Return to Nothingness. This is the first EP, I believe, with their new vocalist Will Ramos, who I believe was once a part of Awaken Providence. This EP, just like Costalom from Slaughter to Prevail, released on August the 13th of 2021. And Will joined recently after the CJ McCreary debacle, because he came in after Tom Barber left to go and join Chelsea Grin. So I had to think about that. But CJ recorded one album with them called Immortal, and Tom did two albums, Palms or Psalms, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and Flesh Coffin. And I believe they also released a couple EPs with Tom. But now that the little bit of back history that I know about the band is out of the way, we've got 3 songs clocking in at about 17 minutes. So I'm going to do a decent track by track, give you my thoughts, and let you know what I think of the album as a whole, or the EP as a whole, afterwards. So, going into this, the 3-song EP starts with To the Hellfire, which was released as a single a couple weeks before the EP drop, I believe. I had heard this before, and I've watched a couple reviews on it. Well, not reviews, but like, people reacting to it. My thoughts is that my favourite, like the main thought, is that the instrumentation is technically solid throughout the entire thing. It has a really good solo, and I think that the solo that I'm talking about is about the 4.5 minute mark, because it's about a 6 minute long track. The opening and the closer are about 6 minutes, and the middle song is about 5. But yeah, it starts off quite quiet, almost acoustic, and then just kicks down the door, and Will's vocals just come through at full blast, and he's got a damn good sound. The lyrics are your traditional death metal, deathcore themes of death, hell, and stuff like that, but they work really well for the sound that the guys have got on this album. Well, EP. I shouldn't keep calling it an album. But with 6 minute songs, like especially of a certain genre, they can lose your interest at points. But Lorna did a very good job at keeping you entertained throughout the whole song and keep you guessing. Those few bits where the song would lull and then come back at full force, and then towards the end you would get the breakdown, which holy shit, if you guys have heard this song, you're gonna know what I'm on about. The snarl, the like demonic dog snarling that Will does, it's just caked in visceralness, and you can hear the saliva in his throat, and it does not compromise on his intensity or in its delivery. Like it's a very good and interesting way to close out the opening song. After this, we go on to track 2, which is the 5-minute track called Of the Abyss. Now, I hadn't heard this one beforehand, and yesterday when I was getting ready for this video, this was my first listen, and it opens with quite a nice like female choirly sort of sound, and once again, after a soft opener, you boom straight into it. The drums kick in, then in the guitars, and then after a few minutes you get Will's insane vocals, and yeah, it's it just sounds awesome. And at that point you're only about 30 seconds into what is nearly a 5.5 minute long track. The vocal delivery changes fluidly from fast highs to deep gutturals and back again, and it keeps you engaged throughout the entire song. The music dips in spots to highlight Will's delivery, which I do really like, and it's done, again, fluidly, very well. And once again, the guitarist gets another chance to showcase his skills, and he gets another really good solo on this song. And then the vocals almost muffle, and then there's this really cool, deep, crisp vocal which switches to a high and reminds me almost of Cattle Decapitation's lead singer Travis Ryan. And then the choir is back in to close the song off behind the screams, and yeah, it just fades out to a close. And it's a good way to do it. Then we go on to track 3, which is the title track, And I Return to Nothingness. It's a very short but sweet EP, and so far, 2 tracks, I'm enjoying it. This is another atmospheric build-up at the start of the song until, well, with a nice choir, and again, this one comes in a little bit fainter than the one from the previous song. And then Will just comes in and gives this opening line of, "From the earth we will rise up," and it is accompanied by this great beat. The vocals are layered and delivered very well, and focus more on showcasing Will's high capabilities at the start of the song, and it has such a phenomenal sound, and it is really good. There's just something about how the music falls back and then comes back at full force, which I really do enjoy. You don't see enough people doing that, and it shows that the band know how to highlight what is important in their delivery, because Will is good at falling back and letting the music come forward and take a focal point, and then the rest of the band are good at doing the same thing and letting Will shine, which is a good way of doing things. I was trying to think of a different word, but yeah. At the end of the day, I don't have too much to say on this song, because my thoughts on the entire album encompass that as well, because it's just more intense greatness. And overall, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with the full album, especially with Will. And when they do, they can definitely take my money. I'm looking forward to that. So to sum things up, 3 tracks, 17-minute long EP, and for me, it's easily a 5 out of 5. And possibly so far my best stuff Lorna Shaw has done. Don't get me wrong, I liked the stuff with Tom Barber. CJ's stuff was okay. I know people like it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Will Ramos.